Hey guys, it's Sam with The Blind Life and my sister Tawny, and I am finally here in New York meeting two blind brothers.
Howdy.
Bryan Manning and Brad Manning. You guys have probably seen them on TV. Awesome guys doing an awesome thing for the visually impaired community. Thank you guys for inviting us.
Thank you. This is really exciting for us because we've watched a lot of your videos and we love all the tech you share. It saves us a lot of time from having to spend thousands of dollars to buy things that don't work. So we really are excited to be here.
That's the goal of the channel, helping everybody out, changing lives. That's what I always say. We're changing lives, people.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. So I wanted to sit down and talk to you guys, find out exactly what you guys do and how it all got started. So let's tell the people what you're doing here in New York City for the community.
Age before beauty. Okay. I'm younger, so that didn't make sense. But I am. So Brad and I, about 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, started Two Blind Brothers. We are a cause-driven clothing company. We make unbelievably soft luxury basics, and we donate 100% of the profits from those back to preclinical retinal research to cure blindness, because we feel that we are right on the cusp of curing a lot of these inherited retinal diseases, and some already have been, if you look at Lexington and LCA. Mm-hmm. But we really feel strongly that all it is a matter of money and no longer a matter of science. So our goal with Two Blind Brothers is just to try and donate that money to get these researchers a little bit further so we can finally say blindness has been cured. And a little bit of the background on how we started the project is Bryan and I both had separate careers. I was working in finance and Bryan was working in sales for a data company. And we were just shopping one day, and if you're blind or you're visually impaired, you know that shopping can be a big pain. Mm-hmm. And we were in a Bloomingdale's, we'd lost each other in the store, and we coincidentally bought the same exact shirt. And even though it was a coincidence, one of the reasons that we bought it was because we feel shirts, feel something we like, and then we do all the work to figure out if we can afford it, if it's our size, if it's a men's item.
Right.
And it just got us talking about doing this, you know, what if we started this clothing line with this vigilance to touch and to fabric, and it started as a small charity project. We were very lucky to get a lot of fortunate media attention, and it is now what it is today. We are two blind brothers. Bryan and I have an eye condition called Stargardt's disease.
An eye disease that causes blindness over time.
We lose our center vision and we keep a lot of our periphery.
The only thing that is predictable is that it gets a little worse over time.
Visual impairment never was going to be an excuse in our lives, that it was never going to dictate our lives.
Last year they launched a clothing line where 100% of the profits goes towards finding a cure.
When you lose a sense like your eyesight, you start getting more information from some of your other senses.
When I think of fashion, I think of line, style, color. What am I missing?
Touch. As soon as you put this shirt on, you can understand the love and passion that went into this project.
Earlier this year, we ran into the Dallas Lighthouse for the Blind.
They employ 70% visually impaired workers to do all of the cut and sew manufacturing.
What's great about it is the clothing is soft, it is great, and all of the money is going towards finding a cure.
We're literally about to see people who were given a diagnosis of blindness who will now be able to be treated and regain eyesight. Vision impairment has given more to us than it's taken away.
Anybody want a shirt?
Your greatest challenge is your greatest gift.
We'll show the picture of the Ellen check. So you guys tell us about Ellen, how you met Ellen and how that all got started.
I gotta give Bryan a lot of credit here because I think Bryan is
Did you spam Ellen?
We had a news organization, social media news organization called Now This that covered our story, and Ellen producer saw it, called us, and I think Bryan charmed the producers on the phone with his magic
charisma.
Golden mouth of charisma. Charisma, we'll call it.
Yeah.
And it was sort of a long series of talking to them, and they invited us on the show, and it was one of the most exciting days of our lives.
It was nerve-wracking.
I bet.
You have no idea what true fear is until you're sitting there backstage
30 seconds before going out.
Yes.
People like, okay, it's 6 million people? Is that the number you guys usually quote?
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Instead of letting their diagnosis set them back, it became their mission to help others. Last year, they launched a clothing line where 100% of the profits goes towards finding a cure. From New York City, please welcome Bradford and Bryan Manning. Explain your diagnosis and when it started.
Yeah, happily. So we have a disease called Stargardt's disease, which is a juvenile form of macular degeneration. Affects about 10 million people across the country.
So now you just go, do you see that thing over there? And you just make stuff up?
I usually go, you don't look as good as you think you do.
Yeah, I see. I see. All right, so I'm going to buy, actually, who else wants a shirt? Does anybody want a shirt? All right. I need a bigger checkbook. Bring out my bigger checkbook. My friends at Shutterfly love what Two Blind Brothers is doing, and they want to help you find a cure. So they are going to buy $30,000 worth of T-shirts. So everybody.
Holy.
Oh, can I give you another hug?
Yes, you can.
Thank you. Oh my God, thank you.
Everyone's going home with a T-shirt.
They were asking, like, they asked us to go, you know, we want to give away like 350, we want to buy, or no, they said, will you give away like 350 shirts to the audience members? And I'm like looking at our inventory numbers at the time, and I was like, do we even have this to give away to them? So, but it changed the whole trajectory of the project because people saw that, other organizations discovered us. It was kind of like this waterfall effect where we got lifted up. Other news organizations covered the story, so it really was a big inflection point for the business.
Yeah, you all are pretty popular in the blind community. Like I said, I work for the state and work for a blind program, and when I said I was coming here, there were multiple people who knew who you were and what you guys do, so yeah.
That's unbelievable.
It feels like pressure though. I'm kind of nervous.
I know.
You know, it's like I hope we don't do anything stupid. You know.
Well, that's when the cameras are off. That's the game.
Well, I think that's great. So what is you guys have not just shirts, what else do you guys have on your site?
Well, it's all sort of casual wear. So it's t-shirts, hoodies, polos, Henley shirts, like V-neck and graphic t-shirts, and
Jewelry,
backpacks.
a candle. It's my favorite thing on the website.
Just one?
Just one scent of candle. It's a sandalwood candle. It's my baby.
And one in inventory,
And
so
one-
if somebody buys it,
It's gone.
It's very expensive though.
It's
so
high end.
That's
Yeah.
why it's still here.
We're working on anything that sort of falls into like clothes that are casual and comfortable, you know. And so we're working on like a lounge pant for women and for men. We're going to be releasing a kids line soon. And what other kind of? We're working on soft accessories like scarves and hats and stuff like that. Cool. We're really in the midst of a bunch of product development, which is a lot of fun because you get to basically design clothes that you like to wear.
Yeah.
But speaking of clothes, I actually love your.
I brought the guys some Blind Life merchandise, and of course I had to bring the "I can see but I can't" hashtag it's complicated. That is probably one of the most popular.
I love this because everybody who's grown up with a vision impairment immediately knows exactly what the shirt is talking about.
Yeah.
And anybody who hasn't is sort of like, what the heck does this mean? You know?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like, it's just such a great inside nod to the community, you know? So I really love that.
It explains a lot, so you don't have to explain. It's more for low vision, I guess. Would be safe to say.
Yeah.
And another one that falls right into that theme is the how many fingers am I holding up?
Oh, God.
This is the reaction you always get. How many times do you think throughout your life somebody has said that to you? Not a doctor, of course. But
Hundreds, starting in like third grade.
Yes.
You know, but the funny thing that Brian and I realize is 90% of the time, it's always two fingers.
Yeah, 2 fingers.
So it's so funny. Somebody will be in the crowd and will be like, "Okay, well then, how many fingers am I holding up?" I'm like, 2. And it's always, and then they're like, okay, well, what about now? You know, and I'm like, okay, well, this is over.
I'm done with you.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, so I've got one coming out, and it's going to be a little bit of a not safe for work. So stay tuned for that one.
Oh God.
It talks about different fingers that I might be holding.
Yeah,
up.
just in case.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Usually one.
I thought when you said not safe for work, certain items of clothing were going to be coming off.
Oh, God.
No. Well, I mean, we can explore that later. That idea. That's not a bad idea. We can see. Give the public what they want.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Or just totally destroy your audience. One of the two.
Alienate everybody. Yeah. And I wanted to just definitely point out that it's men and women apparel, not just guys, right?
Right.
Tell them about your women's line.
So our women's line is affectionately known as the Sighted Sister because Brad and I do have a middle sister who has full vision, and so the Sighted Sister line is what we call it in house. So it's Two Blind Brothers made, Sighted Sister approved.
And your clothing is very tactile. Tell them about that, about the different tactile elements.
Yeah. So we actually spent probably the first 4 months of the project, and this is a great thing about not knowing what you're doing when you first start, is we didn't look at a certain silhouette first. We didn't look at any type of clothing first. We said, let's just find awesome, comfortable, amazing fabric. Because Brad and I, like a lot of New Yorkers, were just wearing button downs every single day, which are terrible to put on. And so we just sat at a coffee shop up in the West Village near my old apartment and just went through fabric books. Just, they would be this tall with just hundreds of swatches in them. And the great part would be like, no, yes, all the way down. And we would each go through a book. And then we would take the yes pile and we'd split it off again and say, okay. And then we would keep narrowing it down. And we probably went through like 6 feet of fabric books if they're all stacked on top of each other. And finally, we just got to one. We're like, this is perfect. All right, awesome. We know what fabric we're going to pick. How do you make a shirt? And then we had to go to some great friends to help us in that process. But it really started with the touch first. And then we wanted to always give an homage back to visual impairment and Braille and something we had learned growing up as kids. So on every one of our shirts, we have a little metal tag that either says brother or feel or vision. And on our new lines, we actually have on the bottom right hem raised Braille that actually says the color of the shirt.
In like a puff paint.
So you can actually read it if you are visually impaired. It's aesthetically beautiful. And it's one of those things where there are high-tech options where you can take your phone out, scan it through your closet, have it say light blue, light green, mountain mist if you have the advanced colors on. Yeah.
Number 4.
But what we were saying is, let's make it easy so you don't have to pull out your phone if you want to just know that you're putting on your favorite blue shirt.
Yeah, well, I was going to mention that they do have the tech options, but they are notoriously terrible, especially in low light situations.
Yeah,
so that's awesome.
Well, the other thing too, Braille is just a really cool, like, Brian and I grew up reading Braille because I didn't know how quickly we would lose our vision, and there was a lot of confusion. I mean, there still is today. A parent has a child that's diagnosed with one of these conditions, and it's sort of like, yeah, this is a disease that causes blindness. How long? We don't know. How soon? How intense? What do they do? It's just good luck, and that's it. And it's too bad that is still the case in a lot of circumstances. So Brian and I always had like this kind of connection to Braille as our little secret language. We got pulled out of school to go learn it. It was one of the things that we kind of bonded on as brothers. And now with our designs, I think one of the cool things is it is this cultural artifact. Everybody knows, even though not many people can read Braille, a lot of everybody knows what it is. Yeah. And so what we've found is to kind of bridge that gap between style, a nod to the visually impaired community, and also art is like we'll incorporate Braille into our design. So we have a shirt that says perspective, and then like one of the E's is a Braille E. You know what the word is, and it's a double entendre. So we have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, because and then Braille, there's still a mystique to the normal public, to the average.
It's like a superpower to be.
Yeah. They're still fascinated that we can read things that not real words. So that's kind of cool to have that also.
One of the great metaphors I really love is like, if you don't know how to read Braille, you're touching it. It's like it feels like breadcrumbs, But if you are somebody with anything in your life where you develop like a special vigilance, or you're paying attention to things in a way that other people don't, somebody might read those same breadcrumbs, and it's literally like poetry, So it's all a matter of like where your attention is and what you focus on. That's where like you find the beauty and the deeper meaning, which has been a lot of fun for us.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for checking out. Thank you guys for talking with us and inviting us up to New York. Like I needed a reason to come visit New York City. But it was great meeting you guys. And I want to let you know this is the first collaboration video for Two Blind Brothers. We will have more in the future. So check out their websites. All your sales are through the website, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
TwoBlindBrothers.com, TWO.
And I will of course have a link down below.
Yeah, and we'll give Sam a discount code to put in the description for anybody in his audience that wants to check out our stuff. So we really appreciate it.
Yeah, great stuff. I've already been all through the website. Stuff for men and women's, not just clothing, super soft. I actually have one of their shirts already, and I get compliments all the time. So check it out. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
Sam.
Thanks. Welcome
Appreciate
anytime.
it.
Come
Yeah.
on back.
Yeah. We will see you guys soon. Thanks, guys. Sam with
Bye,
The Blind
everybody.
Life. See you later.